Hello, hello, hello. This is your message from the universe for 11/10/2020. This is the rune Isa. Now, Isa is the rune of the standstill, of withdrawal. It is the rune of isolation, and it is supported here by this little hermit. This little hermit is so cute. It's got his little third eye there on the bag that he is hiding out in. This withdrawal, this standstill, is all about this sacrifice that we are making when we step into this new way of believing, this new way of thinking, and this new awakening. When you start to honor yourself, when you start to focus on yourself, everything around you starts to change. Everyone around you starts to change. When you start to recognize your own worth, when you are in that space of loving yourself and respecting yourself, you start to not tolerate it from others. And this doesn't make them bad people. It doesn't mean that you should have nothing to do with them, but it means rethinking those relationships. And we've actually been talking about this for a few days now, about how we end up shifting the relationships with the people around us as we change. That when we have a vision for the future, disruption has to happen in our present to get us there. And the Isa is really talking about that standstill and that personal sacrifice. And it warns against holding on too tightly to the now, to how things are in the moment. And it talks about kind of just letting go, like the song, let it go, where you roll with the punches, you go along with what is happening. Because when you are standing up for yourself, when you are honoring your own time, everything shifts. Yesterday we talked about givers and takers, and this Two of Cups was a part of that reading. It was featured in the reading with a double Two of Cups, talking about how we as empaths or as empathetic people tend to allow others to dominate our thoughts, our time, our emotions, and that specifically in that reading there was two different ways to look at it. And one of them was a very specific reading that there is an actual person in your life that does this, an actual person in your life that takes but does not give, that demands but does not share. And yesterday it was really speaking about money, about resources. Today it's kind of talking about, if you have leaned into that, starting to respect yourself, saying no to people. Saying no is not selfish. Self-care is not selfish. We talked about this yesterday as well, especially if you have self-identified as an empath. Self-care is crucial. But because we're an empath, we feel very guilty when we self-care. We feel very guilty saying no to someone. But as we spoke about yesterday, when we do for others and heal others and listen to everything they are saying, overly involved, you're doing their homework for them. And it is important for each person to feel their own feelings, to do their own self-soothing, to go through their own process of growth and acknowledgement and recognition and learning. They have to go through these things on their own. And if you give them all the answers, usually they won't put them into play, and they'll end up coming back to you later saying, why didn't this work? Well, because you didn't actually change anything. You just listened to me tell you how to change things. So we have this Knave of Wands that is talking about self-limiting beliefs, that talks about being held back by what you are following. It speaks about the spiritual path and following that, and the turmoil that can cause. We have this Ace of Wands here that once again is talking about kind of a standstill in creation, a standstill in moving forward, a standstill in what you're doing. Ace of Wands is like, you're doing it, you're making it, you're changing things, you're manifesting things, When it's this way, you're at a pause. So that also supports, along with this Hermit, this Isa, that talks about the standstill, the withdrawal. And along with this, we have this Four of Pentacles, which is about conservation, conserving your energy, saving it for yourself. Yesterday we had the Eight of Pentacles, and even though the Eight of Pentacles is about like mastering your craft and putting in the work, the picture that was on that card was a kitty that had this plate full of sardines, and he had this look on his face like, I'm not sharing one bit of this with you. And when I looked at that and when I look at this, it's almost the same energy, that these are mine, and even though I only have a few, I'm watching them very closely. And the other one was, these are mine, and I don't know if I'm going to share any of these with you. It's that honoring and protecting your own energy. And I never like to say protecting your energy, because I don't feel like it's necessarily an attack. When we say protecting it, it tends to have us put up walls. I don't believe in that personally. If you're a new empath, yes, put up your bubble, put up your shield, your walls. I do whole videos on this. There's actually a playlist here on this page that speaks about empaths and beginners tips and the awakening and that sort of stuff. So you can jump on over there and watch some of those if you want. But I prefer to experience everything. While I may have a filter, I don't put up a wall to what's coming, even if it's painful. And the final thing that is in this reading that seems like it's at odds with everything else here is this King of Wands. This King of Wands is strong. He's charismatic. He is like the guy. When he walks in the room, man, everybody listens. He has his knowledge is on point. He like, everybody knows that this King of Wands has got it going on, and he makes things happen, right? So you might wonder, why is this in this reading? In this reading, this King of Wands is you. See, people come to you for a reason. They lean on you for a reason. They take from you for a reason. They overtake for a reason. Because you are strong. Because you are wise. Not because you are weak. Not because you are less than. Not because you are easily manipulated. They come to you because you care. Because you are charismatic. They come to you because you have knowledge. They come to you because your energy is healing. And now, once you recognize how valuable your time, your energy, your emotions are, perhaps you won't give them away so easily without care, without being discerning about who you share your energy with. The further into this awakening that we go, as empaths or just as beginners, the further that you go into it, the more you recognize things in your life that need to change, that you don't really feel connected to anymore. And it is the habits of the human that keep us in these patterns, not the growth of the spiritual side of us. I know it's difficult, y'all, and you might be sitting still for a minute or two, but take this time to reevaluate your relationships. It doesn't mean end them all. It just means shift how you deal with them. I also have lots of videos on dealing with difficult relations, dealing with difficult family members. I'm not sure if it's here on this playlist. Maybe I'll move one or two over for the Thanksgiving season. I don't know how many people are going to have Thanksgiving out, but anyways, anywho, as they say, you are beloved, you matter, and you are so very loved.